Uh, Continue from the place that you talked about your children. They don't want you to work.
Yeah, okay. As I had that mild stroke, after that, the children told me not to work, brother. And
Mm.
thereafter, I have fully retired. And I still, wherever people invite, I go and preach. I teach. I also serve as the conference lay leader.
Um, okay. Uh, Before we end this session,
Yes,
you have shared so much of in depth. You have shared so much about your life. I personally, I've known you for some years, but I've never knew you.
yes.
Uh, I never knew who Selvaraj really was and is.
Mm.
Today you have enlightened me, and I'm sure many who will want to study research on you. This will be a good platform for them. But there is something that I want to ask you.
Okay.
Uh, you have been called to full-time ministry. You
Mhm.
had a calling, but God has His plan. God
Yes.
took from that and brought you back to serve. Um, what is your thoughts as a lay person who have been involved in teaching as academics and also involved in church ministry, God's work, who had involved in politics, with all this experience, just want to focus on this question. What is your thoughts of the ministries of today compared to the ministries of your time, your early time, maybe 80s, 90s? Uh, what is your thought? How are people looking at it? Uh, what is, how? I think that's the biggest struggle that we have in everybody. And we hear people say, oh, நான் முந்தி அப்படி செஞ்சேன், நான் இப்படி செஞ்சேன், I've done that, I've done this, what are these people, அந்த மாதிரி we hear a lot of comments like this, but you are the man on the ground, okay? You share your thoughts.
Um, brother, ministry never changes, brother. The message never changes. The methodology may change. But I have seen a gradual but sure change in the ministers of the Tamil Methodist Church. I have been very open when I speak things, so let me do the same. Compared to those days, brother, I see two major changes. One is the level of commitment uh, in pastors. Um, I'm not directing this to any particular person, but generally, the standard of the level of Methodist, Tamil Methodist Church ministers has taken a dip, brother. Because of our acute shortage of pastors, we have literally opened up the ministry to anyone who says, God is calling me to serve. And so today, brother, the pastoral ministry is much, much more than preaching the word, brother. Preaching the word, yes, anybody can do. But the pastoral ministry needs a lot of preparation in other areas also. In that sense, I hope I don't upset the chairman of the board of ministry. I am I'm very sure that the level of the pastors um, has gone down. This is because literally we have taken in anyone and everyone who said that God was calling. Sometimes I know procedures are not actually kept. No recommendation from local pastors sometimes. So many different people have come into the ministry. And this is something that I find it very difficult to accept, brother. Secondly, it doesn't it doesn't keep that sanctity of the whole ministry. We all believe that the highest calling is the calling to serve. But today, no parents will send anyone to the theological seminary simply because we seem to prefer people who are in various other services. They retire and then they come into the ministry. And so I hear people talk to me, parents talk to me as to why they should send, why they don't want to send their young people to the ministry. It is far better to serve, for example, in the government. On retirement, claim that God is calling you. You get another free house. You rent out your own house. You get rental from there. You get pension from your retirement, and you get paid by the church. A parsonage is given to you. And so people are talking in terms of dollars and cents, brother. This is the reason why we find the lay young people are not coming into the ministry. But on the contrary, you look at MMM, they are always having missionaries, people who want to come as missionaries. We get them, but pastoral candidates we don't get, brother. And today, some of these people who came as missionaries are now being roped in as pastors. Therefore, something is tragically wrong in that area. And then, thirdly, the whole call concept. Those days, pastors came to serve, but many of the current pastors do not understand servanthood, brother. They come with a chip on their shoulders. Um, they come more as managers, father, brother. Yes, the pastoral ministry involves management, but we are not managers. We are primarily servants who also manage. That there seems to be a complete misunderstanding in this area. I find many modern day pastors are very good managers, but very poor servants. Sorry, that is my very frank opinion.
Well, thank you, brother, for this time. Uh, is there
Thank you.
anything that you want to share at this moment, which I have not asked? If there's anything within your heart that you think it
Mm.
is important that you should share of your life experience, please do so.
Brother, I always tell people I have no pedigree. All right. I got nothing to boast about. I come from the poorest of the poorest family. God has lifted me up. Whatever I am, whoever I am now, is simply because of the grace of God. And as I told you earlier, I am more blessed now than ever before. It is in my retirement that I am having the best house, the best car, the best facilities, brother. Uh, all this, I give glory to the Lord Jesus Christ. And my feeling is this: I want to encourage uh, lay people, particularly, never worry about your retirement. I always keep on telling, I am so blessed in retirement. Brother, let us seek first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all other things will be added unto us. Number one, that's what I want to say. Number two, brother, I want to say, no matter how much we are educated, I've got 2 degrees behind my name. I've got a Bachelor of Science degree from India. I've got a master's in education degree, particularly teaching of mathematics from Deakin University, Australia. I wanted to do PhD. I could not do it. My children grew up and all that, so I had other priorities. But I would love to continue studying, brother. So what I'm trying to say here is, no matter how much we have achieved, or no matter how many degrees we have behind our names, we are basically called to serve, serve, and serve. There is nothing more than serving. Serving has its own responsibilities. You have to manage. You have to be firm, but at all times speaking the truth in love. I think that that part in love that the Lord said is so important to us. That is the second thing, brother. And the third thing is, I used to wonder, I used to feel bad about the fact that, look, I've got 4 girls and 1 boy. I remember a church member in Rao all came all the way to my house and he told me, brother, I came today to pray for you because I have only one sister. We find it so difficult to get her settled down. But you have 4 girls. I don't know what you are going to do. And so the Lord said, go and pray for Selvaraj. He came from Rab to Kuala Lumpur to pray for me because I had 4 girls and 1 son. But brother, no matter how much wisdom there may be in what people say, God is above all this. Today, all my 5 children are graduates, postgraduates. My children are all professionals and they are taking care of the father and the mother so much. And I must tell you one thing here. I got all the glory and recognition because I went about preaching and teaching. But that was not possible if my wife had not played her role. I am so thankful to God for my wife that she did not feel bad about staying at home, looking out, looking after the children. Of course, my mother and father were there for some time. They looked after the family, and that was why I was able to go out and sort of do my ministry. At this point, I want to recognize my wife and record my thanks to her. Without her, I would not have been able to go out and serve the community in the way I want to. My first ministry begins at home. First ministry is at home. And Paul writes, he who cannot manage his family, how can he manage the church of God? Therefore, I would tell all lay people, look here, the first ministry is at home. Build your family first. Build your family first. Look after your wife. Look after your children. Brother, I had no other life. After work, I come home. I used to teach all my 5 children, one after the other, brother, at different levels. I taught them uh, mathematics, chemistry, physics, bio. I wasn't very good at it, and therefore I did tuition for my own children first. I spent a lot of time on them. Today, if I'm having a fantastic time in the Lord, it was because of the time I invested into my children. Therefore,
Hallelujah.
Many people seem to leave the family. Many people seem to leave the family and put the church before the family. The church is a family of families, brother. And therefore, the unit of the church is not the individual, but the family. Therefore, we as lay people must build up our own family first. And please, no matter how much the world changes, people are talking about new norms, everything is okay. But let me tell you this, brother, the rule of God never changes. Therefore, let us cling on to God, trust Him, and brother, the Bible has promised us, even the young lions will go hungry. சிங்கக்குட்டிகள் தாழ்ச்சி அடைந்து பட்டினியாக இருக்கும், கர்த்தரை நம்புகிற பிள்ளைகளுக்கோ ஒரு நன்மையும் குறைபடாது என்று ஆண்டவர் சொல்லி இருக்கிறார். ஆகவே தேவ மக்களே, கர்த்தரை நாம் நம்புவோம். அவரே நம்முடைய தஞ்சம் என்று அவருடைய ஊழியங்களை எந்த விதத்திலே நாம் செய்ய முடியுமோ. பிரசங்கம் பண்ணாதான் ஊழியன் இல்லைங்க. உங்க குடும்பத்தை நம்ம நல்லா பார்த்துக்கிட்டாலே அது போதும். அது ஒரு பெரிய ஊழியம். ஆக குடும்பத்தை முதலிலே கட்டுவோம். தனிப்பட்ட வாழ்க்கையிலே நாம் ஆண்டவரை, கிறிஸ்தவ மதத்தை அல்ல, கிறிஸ்தவ சமயத்தை அல்ல, மெத்தடிஸ்ட் சபையை அல்ல, ஆண்டவராகிய இயேசு கிறிஸ்துவை அறிய வேண்டும். அப்போஸ்தலனாகிய பவுல் எபேசு சபைக்கு எழுதும் பொழுது அவர் ஜெபிக்கிறார். உங்களுக்காக நான் ஜெபிக்கிறேன் காரியத்தை சொல்லுகிறார். ஒன்று, ஆண்டவரே, wisdom and revelation that I may know Jesus. ஆண்டவரை அறிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். ஆண்டவராகிய இயேசு கிறிஸ்துவை அறிந்து கொள்ள வேண்டும். பிறகு அவர் ஜெபிக்கிறார், enlighten their spiritual eyes, அவர்களின் ஆவியின் கண்களை பிரகாசப்படுத்தும், that I may know the hope of your calling, the riches of the glory of your inheritance, the exceeding greatness of your power, the power of resurrection he is talking about. And therefore, brother, personal growth in the Lord, knowing Jesus, building and building the work of God in whatever talents God has given us, whatever abilities that God has blessed us with. Let us continue to serve the Lord. There is no retirement in serving the Lord. My prayer is, I always tell my children, my epitaph when I die should be, he died preaching. Thank you, brother. God bless.
Thank you, Mr.S.Selvaraj. Thank you for your time. Once again, on behalf of
Thank
the
you, brother.
of Archives and History.
Sorry if I've hurt anybody in any way. I'm so sorry, brother. But I just
Yeah.
spoke my
So,
mind. That's all.
so thank you once again. Thank you very much. And God bless you.
Yeah.